All right. And we're live. Welcome to Paragliding Talk.
Dude, you did it again. He did it again 2 weekends in a row.
Oh, that was a wonderful
2 weeks
message.
in a row.
This is great.
All right.
What did he do?
Today we're guested by Tom Kubat.
Oh no.
Yeah.
Okay, he's coming on. Hang tight, everybody. Hang tight.
I'm getting somebody's YouTube feed through my headphones.
We're still live.
It's probably me. Yeah. Okay. That makes sense.
Yeah, mute your YouTube. There you go.
Yeah.
All right, Robert. He made a boo-boo, and he'll be back in a second. He's got to log himself in. I guess he has to accept himself too. But obviously, we got moderators. Myself, Sean, Craig Taylor, all the way from the Tucket, and I'm going to let Robert introduce the guest.
Hang on a minute here. I'm sending him an invite. You know, I'm a handy mod.
He's in the chat.
There we go. Wonderful.
Film like whales.
Look at me go. He's connecting to audio. Eventually he'll be here. Hey, look, my Hot Pocket's done.
All right. And now we should be good. Can you hear me?
Yeah, it's still live, dude, by the way.
Good.
So,
No, I'm glad. Thank you,
we took
Sean.
it over for you.
That was very skilled. That was very skillful in getting me back online.
Just so you know, we can handle it without you.
Yeah, you guys should. You guys should just take over next time and I can just go in here and eat my dinner. We got it. We figured it out. Oh my gosh. So literally the screen comes up and it tells you, oh yeah, if you meeting start and leave meeting. And it looks like the attraction is to click the leave meeting. Like that's the one that makes sense. So they're gonna maybe they need to change the color scheme or something because it was like choose this. Subconsciously I wanted to leave. I don't know. What the heck?
Interesting.
I'm leaving again. We'll see you guys.
All right. We got it.
Just kidding. Tom Kubat is here. Can't leave. Welcome to paraglidingtalk.com. So sorry that I don't know what I'm doing on this show. This is horrible. It's absolutely horrible. The engine net is broken and I don't know what I did.
It's only been 4 years and 200 shows plus.
Yeah,
you know.
you can't even call me a rookie. That's just they changed their something. Not feeding back. That's good. Okay. Well, we have Tom Kubat. Tom, thank you so much for coming on the show. I'm super excited about tonight's show, mainly because I haven't got to talk to you for a while. But the other reason is because I want to talk a little bit about general aviation, some of the things that you've been experiencing, cross over some of the information for us tonight. But I want to mention some sponsors, some wonderful sponsors that we have for the show. PBG Smoke is one of those sponsors. Go check out their website. Amazing stuff they have on there, and especially their headsets. They just came out. I know that they pulled them back again, but they're going back to engineering one more time, and they are mine's good. Mindset is amazing. You're gonna love them. Go check out their website, pbgsmoke.com. Also, the show is brought to you by paramotorprops.com. Their website has all kinds of props. If you accidentally blow one up, you can get them pretty quick by going to their website. I'm impressed with how quick they got mine. Maybe they just did it because I'm a sponsor. I don't know, but they took care of me quick. So go check out their website, paramotorprops.com. Also, the show is brought to you by Midwest Parajet. Go check out their website at midwestparajet.com. We're going to have Steven Scott on the show at some point. I got to hang out with them for a while at the Salton Sea Flying, and it was super fun. And those guys they're amazing. So looking forward to that. If you want to get a hold of those guys, midwestparajet.com. In moderation tonight, Craig Taylor's with us in Nantucket. I don't know where he's at actually, but I think it's Nantucket because his internet's pretty good. Are you back home, Craig? Nope, still not home yet. You fixed the internet. That's good. Last week it was a little shaky, and we had to let you go.
Put an extender over here in the garage, so my Lake Wales internet is probably better than everybody else's.
It's good, yeah. Nice. Well, that's good. I noticed Resurgence PPG is in the chat. That's amazing. That's Todd. But I want everyone to know that he's driving right now. So he's texting and driving.
No, he pulls over when he has to text, and then he continues.
And then he goes on. Yeah, okay,
Yeah.
that's true. Probably does that.
0
Kevin
to
flies in the
80.
chat. That's good. Tom Kubat, thank you for taking time out of your busy schedule to come and join us on paraglidingtalk.com.
Yeah, man. Thanks for having me again.
It's been a long time, way too long.
Yeah.
So I'm glad. I just saw your comment in there. Well played. I so appreciate. I know that you're a busy man. Got 2 boys, right?
Yep.
2 boys, and they're feisty little dudes. And then you've got a beautiful wife. You've got general aviation in your back pocket, paramotor pilot. You also have a very good editing skills with video. So I know when you put a video together, it's not just like you throw it together like my crap. You literally have many angles, many cameras, and when you film something, it's very clean. If you guys haven't followed or haven't seen Tom Kubat's stuff on YouTube, you really should go check it out. The website is, or the link to the YouTube channel is in the chat, or not in the chat, it's in the description. And I'll figure out this internet stuff someday. I will. I'm fixing my my chat here. Oh, I don't have, I'm not in charge here, am I? Let me see here. Chat participants. There we go. Now we're cooking with Crisco. Okay, yeah, I'm the host. I'm good. I gotta do an allowance thing here. Allow participants to screen share. So if thank you, by the way, for letting me back in, Sean and Anthony, and appreciate that. I know Craig would have sent the invite right away. You guys took a long time.
No problem, buddy. I was like, hey, wait a minute. Robert screwed up. Let's make him sweat a little bit.
Mm-hmm. That's right. I do the same thing to you. It goes both ways. If you're in the chat tonight, your name is being written down in the.
That's right. I still want my extra bowl of rice.
No rice,
Mister.
Check this out.
Extra bowl with beans.
So a very special neighbor of mine, Paul Elwood, came by and he donated these retractable deals that you attach to your phone.
Oh, that's awesome.
And we're going to give one of these away tonight.
Nice.
And we're also going to give away an episode 200 Paragliding Talk shirt. I'm going to open these up. I just want to show you guys what you could potentially get. Oh, yeah, that's nice. This is like Booms Fishing. I guess these things are pretty stout, but I think this is a must-have.
Yeah, that's what I use for my phone. Tom, have you switched to something like that yet, or are you still freeballing it on the?
I switched to that after I dropped my phone the first time, and then used it for a long time, and then flew one time without it and dropped my phone that time as well. So
no. Oh my gosh. That's right. I forgot about that video. Good memory. He dropped his phone from like 1,000 feet, landed in the mud. It still worked.
Yeah. Both times I dropped it. I found it and it still worked.
Didn't you have something on your phone where your wife could see where you at and actually your altitude? So I don't know.
That was the second time. Yeah, I was on the phone with her. I called her on the phone and she said hello and then I dropped it. That's pretty funny. It scared her a lot. She thought I was dead.
I bet.
Hey, we got a donation. Jim Furman donated $5 to the super chat. He said rice for Sean. No rice for Sean. Sorry, Sean.
Yeah, that's what I get for inviting you back on. Jeez.
Ooh, I see DPs in the chat. Looks like someone told them.
Yeah. Dude, DP, are you serious?
So
where have you been?
I think he knows. He must know. He says, I think I might be seeing you in the future. If he doesn't know, I'll spill the beans now. But his wife was texting me trying to set up a time for us to go flying. And we planned, there's like a breakfast club that travels around South Carolina. And this club goes to different airports. And everyone just flies to that airport in the morning and eats breakfast on Sundays. And there's one coming up here in on this Sunday, however many days from now, and I'm taking DP.
Nice.
So, yeah, it's gonna be a fun flight.
Love DP. I'm gonna send him an invite. I need a sixth man for the window. Kubat, let's talk a little bit about your history in paramotoring for the people that don't know who you are.
Okay.
Talk about how you got in the sport and tell us a little bit about who you are.
Yeah. Okay. I'll go quickly because I think most people here probably have heard this story. So I think it's my third time on there, but yeah. Got into the sport in 2015 timeframe. Same way everyone else did. Saw a YouTube video, decided that that's what I was gonna do. Sold off my motorcycles and to fund it, and just got into it. I learned at Midwest powered paragliding and been flying ever since.
Who was your instructor there with the Midwest guys?
Dave Halcomb, and at the time it was just him. So they've got a couple other guys there now. A couple of guys have rotated through, but it was just Dave and I pretty much.
Speaking of guys rotating through, we've had a lot of people rotate through watching our show. We're trying to retain viewership and it's not working. Let me step up our game. You hear that, Gringo? Write that down. DP.
You got it.
Dave Perry. Boom. Sent. He's like looking. He's like, no, don't send me an invite. Dang it. So I do have to mention a couple comments. Resurgence PPG said, Robert Michaels, this is a rough start. It's been like Tom Kubat's recent paramotor videos. Well played. And then he also said, Robert Michaels, Tom has been a hero of mine since I met him at Bad Apples. Can you ask him who his favorite paramotor pilot is?
My favorite paramotor pilot?
Yeah. You don't have to answer that. It's fine.
That's a hard one.
Yeah. Think about it now.
Yeah, I don't know who my favorite paramotor pilot is. I bet the initials
are like LC.
LC? LC? Yeah.
No, I was thinking more like an RM.
I've always liked Kyle. Kyle has always been my favorite pilot.
Yeah.
KO.
All right. That's a winner. KO.
Well, I do have some questions that I wrote down. These are important questions. Your history in paramotoring goes back, what, 3, 4 years, 5 years, 6 years, 7 years?
Yeah, 6.5.
Jeez. Have you ever thought about doing the tandem thing?
I have. I thought about it a lot. And I decided not to do it. So it was either going to be going the tandem route and getting all my tandem gear, or because I always knew I wanted to learn how to fly and get an airplane. So I just figured if I did that tandem thing, that was just going to push that off further. And the only reason I would do tandem would be to share aviation, which I could do with an airplane. So I went the airplane route.
Yeah, that's probably the right way to go.
Yeah. And I don't fly enough to do tandem. I don't think, unless I did a trike or something like that, but I don't even know how to fly a trike. So yeah, I figured it's safer just to go learn how to fly.
And so that's probably going to be in the future.
What, tandem stuff?
Yeah.
Yeah, maybe. Like I said, I'm flying less paramotor now, so I think it'd be even less safe for me to do. And if I want to take someone flying, I can just take them in the plane. So
good point.
Yeah.
Do you feel like this is your segue out of paramotoring, or do you still feel like
no, not at all.
Paramotoring?
No, I still, I have no intention of getting rid of my gear. I still love it. Obviously it's general aviation's new to me now, so I'm doing that a lot so I can build hours, right? That's the only way to get a job flying is to build hours. So that's been the focus lately, is just flying as much as I possibly can.
I think Tom's upset that you didn't say that he was Todd. I think he's upset
he
that
was
you
fishing
didn't.
for it, which is why I didn't say it. But yeah.
You got to earn it.
Got to earn that right. I don't know if Todd's not, if you're literally on the side of the road, Tom actually thought it was a good idea to invite you on, and I told him that you probably wouldn't come on, and then we thought that you were driving.
He hasn't left his house yet.
No, well, he needs to come on the show. I don't know if he's just sitting there. DP, my word, alms for the poor. Great guest, chilling with the missus. She wins, but thanks for the invite. She just told me about Sunday with Tom. Wow. Oh, so he didn't even know.
He must have known.
Must have knew something.
Or I ruined it. Either way, it's gonna be fun.
Oh no.
Yeah.
Tom ruined the secret surprise. And the party's all over.
I forgot to make the noise for the $10 in the super chat. Oh crap, we got a stormtrooper in here. What are you doing, boy?
Trying to look for Aqua Force.
All right, kick rocks. Yeah, Hot Buttered Steve's in the chat. That's great. I got to meet Hot Buttered Steve at the Salton Sea Flying.
Who didn't meet Hot Buttered Steve, right? He was at every party.
Hey, you know what I did miss out? Did you see the guy? There was 3 guys that flew in the nude.
Oh, I saw a video or something. No,
Did not get an
I didn't see
invitation.
him.
It kind of surprised me that was like one of the tops on your list there, Robert. You know, go to Salton Sea, see 3 new dudes flying. Huh?
No,
Yeah,
not
no.
see. I wanted to see what it was like to fly nude.
I wouldn't imagine
most-
that would be fun.
You know, it's funny. I would never do that in a million years, but there was a guy that did that free flying, and he wasn't a very good pilot. He crashed in the bushes
Yeah.
and everything. You remember that, Gringo? I don't want to give him any airtime, but it's pretty funny.
Yeah.
So I do want to talk. I can't. I need a bigger desk, Gringo. I need you to order me a bigger desk.
Okay.
So let's talk a little bit about your close calls with paramotoring, and take us down the road of one of your recent, or if any, situations where you were maybe out of control, something that was sketchy, something you did that you were like, you know what, I learned some lessons here that I want to share with people so that they don't make the same mistake.
Close calls and paramotoring. I think I've been pretty lucky, most of them. I think I've talked about the resurgence like race that we did at the one fly-in one year. I forget what flying it was, but it was like a race, a 3-point race. That was, for me at the time, risky. I see, a lot of guys fly in those conditions all the time, but for me, I know that was at the top of or over my skill limits at the time. We were flying in the rain, taking off out of like people's backyards into bushes over like power lines and stuff. It was real risky. Definitely should not have been doing that, but that was fun. And then other close calls that I've learned from, I think I've just been super lucky. I remember one where this wasn't really a close call, but I had tried to launch and failed to launch and then just reset back up to go take back off. And I noticed that my riser wasn't clipped into my carabiner. It was just like hanging on by like a thread.
Oh my gosh, no.
Yeah. So had I potentially hit my first launch, I would have been flying with it kind of just like hanging there with the carabiner open. And so that was like what I consider a close call.
Wait,
and
you weren't in the air?
No, I wasn't. But I
Okay.
tried to get in the air the first time and I just failed to launch. So I just
my
like set back up
gosh.
to go. And that's when I looked and I noticed it. And I was like, oh man, that would have sucked.
I've seen that video. There's a tandem video where the guy launches and it's the main carabiner and it's just barely on there and they fly for a while.
Dude, I had a buddy, I won't
Oof.
mention him because I don't know if he shared the video or not, but I got a buddy that took off and got in the air and was ripping around like that, and it opened up and he went into a cornfield. He got real hurt.
He
I don't
throw
know
a
if-
reserve or was he low?
No, he was right over the corn. He has it on video. He had a chase cam. So you just see the
my-
wing just go up and just went down.
Dude, I want to see that video just because.
Yeah, I'll ask him if he'll
But-
share it with you.
But he did get jacked up from it.
Yeah, I don't know how hurt he got, but yeah, I mean, he definitely got hurt and he destroyed his gear.
Yeah, I don't know what hurts worse, having to deal with the injury or not having gear.
Yeah, both of them hurt. I mean, when I wrecked my Scout that one time, that was the first thing I thought about when I hit was, oh no, I'm out $9,000. I didn't care about any injuries. I was just like, that's so much money. But yeah,
And it's all carbon fiber.
yeah.
You do any carbon fiber repair stuff?
No, I haven't crashed in a long time. Luckily, It's hard to crash when you're not flying though. So
yeah, we I'll tell you guys that obviously Tom has lacked on the motor videos lately, but he has been doing some general aviation stuff, and I'm really interested in his takeaways, because he's the first guy that I know that started with paramotors and went to general aviation. And I have to do this. Yeah, Michael Dune donated $10 to the super chat. He said ground crew contribution. Thank you, Michael Dune. Appreciate your contribution. Is it done?
Done.
Bro.
Done.
You guys got to help me with this stuff.
Dude, you spent the whole weekend with him, and
Mike done.
Mike done.
You know that's my brother, right?
Yeah, I
Okay.
see his face.
Okay.
Dang it. I didn't know his last name was, it should be
Done.
Bear Gringo.
If
Last
I
name should
read
be
it,
Gringo.
if I read it and I read it slowly, it looks like done to me.
He's Michael
Gun,
Peregringo.
yeah.
You're Anthony Peregringo. He's Michael Peregringo.
There you go.
He needs to fix that
Yeah.
so the people know who he is. Thank you. I appreciate that, Mike. Mike's a blast, by the way, hang out with. So we were talking a little bit about coming into general aviation. Talk to us about your experience. How was it? Did you literally take what you knew from paramotoring and transfer some of that stuff over into GA? I mean, obviously sectional charge, stuff like that. Talk a little bit about that.
So some of that helped. I'm kind of an aviation nerd on the side as well. I mean, even aside from flying paramotors, I do everything. I mean, I studied it just on my own time, and I fly a lot of flight simulator and things like that. And so the transition to general aviation was, it was, I don't want to say easy for me, but it was pretty seamless. I was prepared. I did all my ground school online, so you can learn, you do your entire ground school in an online course, and that prepares you for your written exam. So I mean, you end that course with the logbook endorsement to go take your written exam. And I took 1 hour of ground school with my instructor, and then he basically told me, he's like, this is a waste of time, let's just go fly. And so we just started flying, and it went quick. I was fortunate, like I said, to be able to have access to my own airplane, and we flew a lot, and we flew, and and just we got through it as fast as I think you could probably get through it safely, is what I say. So I didn't rush it because I wanted to take my time, but I got through it before I wanted to. My goal was actually, it's funny, my goal was to have it done by this weekend. So my grandparents are visiting, and my grandma's 83 years old, and she's never been in an airplane before. She's always wanted to fly. And so when I started my license in August, the goal was to be done by February 18th. And I finished in December. So, but I'm taking her flying on Saturday, so I'm really excited about it.
Oh, that's rad.
Yeah, I can't wait.
Craig Taylor's doing that right now.
Yeah?
Yep.
Doing what? Learning how to fly?
He's already got a plane.
Flying your grandma.
Oh.
He's gonna fly your grandma. He's not gonna fly your grandma.
I'm advancing my ratings right now to I'm in the instrument and trying to progress through the multi-engine so I can fly the plane that I bought.
Oh, cool. What'd you get?
81 Piper Navajo Chieftain.
Oh, awesome. That's freaking cool. Yeah,
That's
instruments next for me.
You got to step it up, Tom. That you need that plane, because if you're gonna pick me and Gringo up and all of our gear, you're gonna need to get that plane.
I have no desire for a plane with 2 engines on it.
Yeah.
Not at all. I can barely afford 1 engine. I don't know. Yeah.
It's just that redundancy. You only need one of the two.
Yeah. The redundancy is nice, but it comes at a cost, a very expensive cost.
It's fine. Life is short. Take out a line of credit.
Mm.
I just have a pen with a lot of ink.
Yeah.
There you go. But yeah, it
Yes.
helps flying paramotors first.
Jim Furman donated $5 to the super chat. He said, Tom, what was the airplane purchase experience like?
Fun. Mine was pretty easy because I was lucky enough to have a buddy who had already purchased an airplane. So I kind of just went to him and asked what he did. But I was lucky and I also found an airplane locally.
Oh,
So
nice.
yeah, which is not common. It's pretty hard to find exactly what you're looking for locally. So if you don't find it locally, you have to find someone to ferry it back, and it costs a lot of money because you have to hire someone to do pre-buy inspections on the aircraft. You have to hire someone to ferry it back for you, and that's you got to buy them plane tickets and things like that to get around. So I found one locally and was able to get my flight instructor just to fly up there with me in my other buddy's airplane. So that saved me money.
I was
Then
just
we
going to say,
Yeah. And then we picked up the airplane and flew it back. So it was, fairly painless process. And then just, got to get it insured and start flying.
Nick Griffith donated $5 to the super chat. Thank you, Nick Griffith. Appreciate that contribution. You were amazing. So recently, or in your video that I saw in the last couple days, you talked about some shenanigans that were happening at your local flying spot.
Mhm.
And you were talking about how the guy who kind of runs the place burned you a little bit, got you a little frustrated. And you were talking about flying paramotors there before you were flying GA.
Yeah.
Did he close that door for paramotors? And I kind of want to talk a little bit about site preservation, and maybe is there some stuff that
So I consider that site all but lost. So again, like legally, we're allowed to fly there. I called the local FSDO and checked and all that, and we can fly. But I mean, I don't want to fly there anymore. It's because if he's there, it's an unpleasant experience. Like I could go there and launch, but he stopped me at the gate before and tried to prevent me from going in, and he really makes it his job to not let us fly there. So luckily I have another spot that I can go to that's a little bit further away, so I don't have to fly there. But it sucks, man. It's a bummer. I've been flying there for a long time, and it's really close to my house. So now if I want to fly my paramotor, I got to drive 45 minutes to do it, or I have to launch from a spot that's not safe. Right, I have to go to the side of a road somewhere, or some back road or a backyard or something, which I've done. But you can't hang around there. So
you think that guy's he's got some kind of weird hatred towards paramotors? You think it's just like he's just a crotchety old guy, or what?
Yeah, I don't really know what his deal is. He doesn't like paramotors. I've never done anything at the airport to make him not like me. He's claimed a bunch of things that paramotors have done at the airport that we've not been able to verify. He said that paramotors were flying over the runway when airplanes were taking off. We tried to get to the bottom of that, asking who was it, when did it happen, what color was their wing, and he can't give you any information. So
it's probably bullcrap.
I don't know. I'm not going to say it was, but I'll just say it's unverifiable. So I think it's probably not true, but so he cites all that stuff. And like I said, every time I've ever flown there, I've flown there and I've launched and I've left. I've never had any close encounters with an airplane ever at that airport. And I've always been very nice to him. I've never gotten frustrated with them, even when he was, in my face, and because I was trying to preserve that site. I don't know what his deal is, but
so
that always makes it a drag too, because you have that impeding over your shoulder. You know what I mean? Like, well, if I show up there, is it going to be a problem? Am I going to get upset? Not be in the right mindset to actually enjoy my flight?
Exactly. Yeah. You don't want. Yeah. So he's made it a very unfriendly environment, and so that's the way it is. Like that. Yeah.
Talk a little bit about what your thoughts are on not having something like that happen to your local site.
So like I said, I don't know what I could have done differently with this particular person. I think it's just a personality clash. This guy just doesn't like it. I think he has he has dreams of that being a much larger airport he's trying to grow it into, and they're making strides toward that. So not sure what I could have done there. But obviously, you know, I made a video about this too, about flying out of airports. If you're going to do it, you just you need to be responsible, and you should probably study up. And if you're not, you know, a general aviation pilot, you could maybe read up on it and understand how airports work and where traffic patterns are and what times are good to fly, and, you know, launch and leave if you don't have permission to stay there. And I'll also mention, because a lot of people bring to my attention, even comments on this latest video is like, why do you want to fly there? If, you know, go somewhere else, you have 1,000 other places to fly. Well, that's not the case here. We don't
Right.
want to fly at airports. We have to fly at airports because there is nowhere else to fly. Every field is owned by somebody, or you can't fly out of it because there's, you know, too many trees. And there are maybe 4 or 5 airports that are accommodating to us. So it's our only option. And once these are gone, and they're all on edge, because our other flying site, our main flying site, is managed by the same dude.
Oh no.
Yeah, it's just much further away, and he doesn't really care about that airport. It's like way out in the boonies, and it's a great airport, awesome airport, and I love flying there. But he manages that too, so I have to keep that in mind when I'm thinking about what I'm, you know, getting into it with this guy, or you know, taking any type of action. So I consider that too. But yeah, you got to be careful and be responsible.
Man, we're going to take a little break here and spin the wheel, give away some stuff. We've got some free stuff to give away tonight. So Paul Elwood donated these retractable deals. We're going to give away that first. Sean, if you're ready to spin the wheel, spin away. This show is brought to you by American Allied Drains and Plumbing. If you're in the San Diego area, you need some plumbing work done, American Allied Drains and Plumbing is your company. If you mention Paragliding Talk, you'll get a 10% discount on your services. Their phone number is 844-777-9055. Also, the spin of this wheel is brought to you by Calamity Kite Clinic. If you want to get some training on how to kite your wing properly, or you want to be better at ground handling, reach out to Sean. His website is calamityKiteClinic.com. Also, this show is brought to you by Nebraska PPG. Josh Bowden, he's got a school in Nebraska. If you want to get some top-notch training, you can sign up with Josh and his team today. There's a link in the description. It's a greasy wheel. Mad Sloper. It's hard to tell. So quiet. Is everyone gone? Where did everyone go?
This is excruciating.
There we go. Oh, it's going to be right on the line. Paramotor Girl. Winner, chicken dinner. Paramotor Girl. I don't know how long the sound effects are going to last. It's just super obnoxious. I can't handle it. Paramotor Girl. Reach out. Let's spin it again. Hot Buttered Steve donated $20 to the super chat. Holy moly.
You want to spin it again? We can do that.
Yeah, we're going to give away a shirt too.
Heck yeah. I didn't even realize I had my mic muted. And here I was talking to you like, yeah. Oh, yeah.
People always ask me if my last name is...
Here we go.
If my last name is Minty or Min Tai, my answer to them is always the same. How dare you speak to me? So congratulations, Paramotor Girl. You won the phone. It'll save your phone. It's really good, actually.
Keep it from dropping on the ground when you're up in the air. Oh.
Mm-hmm.
I'm guessing maybe, possibly.
Oh my gosh.
Maybe Sandra,
Resurgence
maybe
PPG.
Todd. I don't know. I'm willing to bet it'd probably end up on Sandra.
Oh,
And
yeah.
if it's on a blank, it's on a blank.
It's
that
on a
means
blank.
It's a respin. If it's on a blank, it's a respin.
Oh my gosh, that's the last.
I
thing
don't
we need.
know. I don't. I don't know, man. Oh, that's blank. That's a respin.
We have a winner.
That's a respin.
Blank.
Okay, we're removing the blank and we're
Okay,
spinning. Here we
spin
go.
again. Spin it to win it.
Sometimes I gotta
Jeez.
add blanks because it's hard to put the names in when there's not
Hold
enough
this.
space.
Hold this down for a second. I'll be right back.
No problem, Robert. Gonna build this suspense.
Is there an option to add some resistance to this wheel so it doesn't spin so damn long?
Well, there is, but then you gotta reset everything, redo everything, and that's just a pain. But that's okay because it's almost there already. And you know, Robert had potty or something. I have no idea. What Michael Dune? No. What Matt? Well, I don't know. It might be Will Fly. Might even be Aaron I. You never know. Ooh, that's a nail biter. Oh, Aaron I.
Aaron I, congratulations. Winner, winner, chicken dinner. EYE. So Aaron I, if you will reach out to me at paraglidingtalk.com/contact, I will send you out your shirt. Just tell me what size shirt you wear and what your address is.
So Robert,
Yes, sir.
Todd just texted me, actually scanned it, and he said, breaking news, Chris Holbert was, he sent me a picture too. Chris Holbert just released from the hospital and is resting in a local hotel until he flies home to Ohio for rehab. So
Awesome.
some news, man.
That's great news.
Heck yeah.
He actually texted me today.
Got a picture chilling, so
Yeah, I'm helping him out with some shenanigans. Oh, there he is.
yeah.
Can you put that up one more time? I'm gonna highlight your thing here. Keep holding it. Hold on a second. Boom. There we go.
Don't
It's a little
breathe.
blurry.
Man, I don't know if I can unblur it. It's like a cheap camera.
Yeah.
Whatever. He's doing good.
Yeah. Good, man. I'm
He asked me to
glad.
make an announcement, so
So that's awesome.
cool.
Yeah, I was worried because right when it first happened, he had no feeling in his legs, and it was super scary.
That was scary to hear about that.
Yeah, yeah, and I mean, you crash like that, and you're twisting because it sounds like a tip touch, grab something, and then so you're falling, but you're going 60 miles an hour and you're twisting. So his back got all jacked up. I'm glad he's doing better. I can unspotlight this. There we go. Okay, I'm so scattered tonight. Jeez. So I do want to talk a little bit about some other stuff to do with the money part of going to general aviation. What can people expect just to get through ground school and get a license to be able to fly? What are we talking?
Money wise,
Yeah.
so I think I did it about the cheapest way you can possibly do it. I think the general is like people tell you 10 to 15,000 to get through it. I didn't spend that. The first thing I did to save money was I bought my own plane. So if you can do that, that will end up saving you a ton of money. I calculated how much money I would have spent just renting a plane when I was like, I don't know, almost done with my training, and it was almost $15,000 just in rental costs. So I was like 14,000. So it's super expensive to rent a plane. So if you can buy one, that's the cheapest way to do it. The plane that I own is also a cheap plane. It's about the smallest, cheapest plane to operate you can get. Cessna 150. Easy to get parts, cheap on gas. I have an STC for the plane, so I can use MoGas, so car gas. So I pump my own gas. I save like $2 a gallon on that. I did that calculation. It was like $1,400 in the first 100 hours I saved doing that. And then your ground school, if you do it online, I think I paid $250 for that. And I think it's about $100 an hour to pay, or 50 to $100 an hour to pay a CFI to do your ground school. if you sit down with the CFI and do that. So if you can study ahead of time and do your ground school online, you can save a ton of money. So I think all in, I don't even know. I haven't calculated. I have to do that because someone, everyone wants me to make a video on how much I spent doing it. But if you don't include the cost of the airplane, it's probably about $7,000 or $8,000 probably, I think.
Mike S said private pilot cost $1,200 in 1978.
Yeah.
He said, man, I'm old.
Dude, and it's getting worse, right? Like I said, that's why I had to leave that airport. They doubled the rent on you. It's getting harder and harder and more expensive to fly. So
I did air conditioning for a guy who he was the owner of PeopleSoft, and that's a billion dollar company. They're a big internet company. If you do a little background on them, but he was a pilot himself first, and then he had bought a hangar on this runway, and he wanted to be able to. He gave that house to his pilot, and then he bought this house that was up on the mountain. So when you're flying out, you fly right over this mansion that's on the very top of the mountain. But he wanted to be able to pull the plane into the hangar, and it was a big twin prop, and he wanted to be able to have this is in Arizona, wanted to air condition the space so that he can shoot pool within just a few minutes. So when he pulled the plane in the hangar, shut the door, he wanted the AC to be able to pull that room down so that they could shoot pool. And I guess they'd be flying and they'd be talking smack about who was better at pool, whatever. But
nice.
From that moment, I wanted to have an airplane and a hangar. So that's my life goals to be able to have a house on a runway.
That's all. Me too. Yep. I want to do that too. Hangars out here are almost impossible to get too. And they're expensive, really expensive.
You got to wait for somebody to
Yep.
kick the bucket or something.
Yep. I'm on a list to get a hangar at the airport that I just moved to. And the airport manager straight up told me, he's like, you're gonna have to wait for someone to die. I was like, all right.
That's fine. So what's the deal with that? You kind of have to move now because they priced you out of the one that you're in.
Well,
and
yeah, so I could have stayed, right? But again, I didn't want to be there anymore, right? I didn't want to have to deal with him, and they doubled the rent without telling anybody, just doubled it. So went from 50 to $100, and that was kind of the last straw for me. It was like, just all right, fine, I'll go. So I moved to another airport that's nearby, and it's nice. I've only been there for a little while, but airport manager seems really nice. We've had a couple conversations on the phone. She seems cool. So, and that's another airport that's paramotor friendly. So they have told people no before, but I'm kind of hoping to rebuild that relationship there and kind of offer to be, like I've said for Somerville Airport, I try to kind of be like an ambassador for the airport, where if anyone comes to the airport wanting to fly paramotors, they just give them my name and number and say, talk to Tom. He's the guy that deals with that here. So I haven't spoken to her about that yet because I want to ease into that a little bit. I don't want to just say, hey, we're flying here. But we have flown there a lot.
Something that's really important to know, and if you're watching, you're planning on trying to fly out of your local airport, obviously you're going to need to go and talk to them first. Really important part of this whole thing is communication with the tower and talking to having an airband radio. I fly with a two-way, so I don't have airband. But maybe talk a little bit about your approach to talking to your local airport and flying paramotors.
Yeah. So that's a big one. Again, there's no tower at these airports. These are all uncontrolled airports. So you're talking on a Unicom, but so it depends on the airport. The one airport that we fly out of that I say that is our main airport, we don't usually fly with radios because there's so little traffic. There might be one plane a day that lands there. So you can do it safely without it. But anywhere where there is traffic, you should be flying with the radio, I think. Again, that's not a legal requirement, but we do that. And we just make simple calls, right? So I'll say, Berkeley County traffic, ultralight power paraglider taking off from the field adjacent to the ramp. We're going to be climbing straight up to 300 feet, crossing the runway and heading out this direction, right? And I'll make calls as I'm doing that. And then I'll also ask if there's any other traffic in the area to please advise, so that I'm aware that if there's any traffic flying around. So that has helped our relationship at the airport. They like that. They like proper, radio chatter. And if you can work that out, it's safer for you, and it'll show that you're a responsible pilot, and they'll like that, I think.
I like the idea of building a relationship with people. Something that I learned over the years, like an example from my pastor actually, was that he would always bring his pastor a gift just randomly. He had like a garden. He had a bunch of like tomatoes and some chilies and stuff, and he would like put a box of it together. If they were going to be hanging out, he would go and just bring him something. If you can build relationship like that, I know it sounds kind of goofy, but maybe bring some cookies in there. Say, hey, I just figured I'd drop these off. Just want to let you know, I appreciate you guys having an airport and running a good operation. And like you said about the safety thing, they don't want somebody eating crap at their airfield, because that's going to be a bad reflection on them.
Yeah, and I don't want that either. I mean, if that's why I truly was asking whenever someone says something happened, I say, well, do you know who it was? Can you identify them anyway? Because I want to talk to them too. I don't want, some jackass out there flying over the runway at, my airport or the airport that I use, right? That's not good for me either. So that's why, it's important or I think it'll be important to try to, I don't know, be like an ambassador for the airport, to try to manage it so that we can preserve it. I don't want to be in a position of authority at the airport by any means, but I think if I could talk to people first, tell them what the rules are, what they like people to do at this airport, then we can preserve it for longer. But you say bring cookies. I used to bring donuts all the time to Somerville.
No kidding.
Yeah, I'd bring coffee
That's
and donuts in the morning. Hey, but it didn't work.
Yeah, yeah. It will work. Bribery does work. Will Fly said,
Yeah.
bribery always works. Relationships are incredibly important. It works in the regular work environment. It's gonna work. I mean, why do you think that you're I was the engineer for the building. These people are trying to take me out to lunch. There's always something going on where they want to bring you something. It works, but that relationship's critical. I was going to say something else about fly-ins. So there was a question. Robert Taggart said, "Can we talk about the next fly-in?" I think that is the next fly-in. He just wants to know because he said, "I really want to fly with people again." Is that the endless foot drag? Is that the next? What's the next one on the list?
I thought EFD was after Bad Apples usually.
Yeah,
I
I think
think
it's
Bad
I
Apples.
think it's
So it's Bad Apples,
yeah.
then EFD,
Yeah.
and then
Well, I think
that next
Blackhawk
one's in May.
I think a Blackhawk has a fly-in in April and October.
Oh,
So,
April. Yeah, I want to go to that. By the way, Gringo.
yeah,
How
that'd
can
be
we?
cool.
I need to know what
Let's
dates
do
those
it.
are. Let's just go for like a day.
So take a Thursday, Friday off,
Yeah.
back Sunday. Oh, Saturday night.
Yep.
Yeah. Let's do it. All right.
All right.
Anyway, proceed.
Yeah. Will Fly donated $5 to the super chat. He said Resurge's PBG rocks, and that is true. There was another question in the chat.
Yeah. By the way, while you're looking for that one, Nick Griffith asked if you were at the Charlotte Douglas Airport thing when you guys flew paramotors there. He wants to hear more about it if you can.
Yeah. I was there. That was an awesome experience. So yeah, I mean, we launched from, I don't even remember the name of the airport, but an airport nearby, the Charlotte Douglas Airport, and flew in, and yeah, we dragged up. We all made videos about it. I think 4 of us made the same video. But yeah, foot dragged down the runway in the Class Bravo at Charlotte Douglas Airport. So that was actually the first time I've ever flown in Class Bravo. And then on the way home from I visited Todd Scandrett last weekend. I flew out there or I don't know when it was, but last week sometime to have lunch. And on the way home, they vectored me into that same Class Bravo in my plane. So that was the first time I flew an airplane
wow.
Class Bravo. So that was pretty
That's
cool.
awesome.
The only Class Bravo I've ever flown in was that one, and I've done it twice.
Wow.
Yeah.
And when you were flying motors, doing that, was that you were on airband?
Yeah. So one of the guys we flew with was an air traffic controller for that airport. And I
Oh,
think,
that's right.
yeah, he was the main dude that set all that up. And he was in constant communication with the tower. He had like a long antenna that they hung a ball on so that it would hang straight down, and he hung it down from his seat. I
Wow.
think it damn thing was like 10 feet long or something like that. But that's
No
how he was
kidding.
able to contact the tower so far out. It's pretty
And
cool.
wow, that's crazy. We had a little event while we were at, I was at an SIV, and this airplane comes flying in, like, I mean, crazy, right on top of the water. And we're like, whoa, we're doing tow operations. Holy. And so get on the airband radio road right away. Hey, got tow operations happening over Lake Berryessa, 500 to 5,000 feet,
Mm-hmm.
over and over again. Wow. Kyle O'Glee donated $50 to the super chat. He said for rent, for tacos, and for shipping. He left some stuff here. I got you, Kyle. I'm glad you made it home. Kyle left his backpack full of stuff. Yep. I got it all boxed up. It's ready to ship. So just let me know where you want me to send it. Yankee Paramotor wants to know, how much hood time does Tom have now? Is he seriously pursuing employment?
So hood time, I don't have much. I actually flew down to visit Yankee Paramotor not that long ago as well. Since that time, Todd, I've not done any more training. So can't legally log any hood time unless I have a CFI in the seat. But hour wise, I'm at 120 something hours now flying the plane. And yes, I'm seriously pursuing it. So I've applied for some scholarships through the AOPA that I'm waiting to hear back if I got. It's for advanced rating, so my IFR certification. And actually, Todd was one of my references for that, so he knows that. And I'm waiting to hear back on that. If that goes through, then I'll jump right into IFR. If not, then I'll have to plan it out when I can afford to start that training, because I have to get a new plane for that, so I have to sell my plane.
Whoa.
Yeah.
And why is that?
The one I'm flying now is not IFR certified. I could upgrade it and get it IFR certified, but I'll have to calculate what'll be cheaper either to.
What do you mean? Like you've got to upgrade the motor? You got to have more power or something?
No, I truthfully, I don't know what it needs, but I know it's not certified now. You need different. Well, the plane needs to be IFR certified, so it has to have certain equipment in it that I don't have, and then I have to have it certified.
So that's instrument
Flight rules, yeah.
Flight rules. Yeah. So that just means you can't rely on your instruments.
It means I can't. I have to follow VFR flight rules. So essentially,
right.
I can only fly right now when I can see.
And so are they saying that plane's instruments are not worthy? Is that basically what it is?
It doesn't have the necessary instruments to fly when you can't see out the window. I would need another, I think I need another radio. I need to have my VOR calibrated, a couple other things done to it. And truthfully, I wouldn't want to fly that thing IFR.
Right. Oh yeah.
It's all steam gauges. I mean, you can do it. I've done it, right? I've flown with, the foggles on and things like that, and you can do it. But yeah, I wouldn't be flying that thing. It doesn't even have autopilot or anything like that. So, no.
Dude, we had 2 plane crashes within about 5 miles of each other around my house.
Really?
One was Gringo. Wasn't that a friend of yours company, right?
Yeah, it was actually an Aero Medevac, where they let's say you have an injury in Cabo or you're American or something, you want to get back to the States for better hospital care or something. They come and pick you up in a jet.
Was it that jet that did the approach and then turned to land?
Yes, and you can
hear those guys.
Yeah, they're a friend of mine's, part of his business. Yeah, so it was two captain and co-pilot and 2 nurses or something like that. So yeah,
that was horrible, man. Yeah, they were flying in IMC conditions, and just spin stall. They got too slow.
Yeah, the audio is
chilling.
Horrible. Yeah, I watched that. Yep.
And then the other guy went down right here. It's like in between here and our church. It's like right in the middle. It's right by the school,
He
Santana.
he was a doctor, I think, coming from Yuma, but he
Yep.
was going to Montgomery, which is closer to the coast. It's probably about maybe 10 miles at the most.
Yeah.
But
I heard
Did
about
you
that
hear
one,
anything?
too.
Yeah. Did you hear anything more about that, by the way?
I haven't.
So if I've watched a bunch of the YouTube guys that have done like analysis on it, the NTSB
Yeah.
hasn't come back on that one, but one of them suspects like some type of medical emergency, like a
That's what I
stroke or
thought.
something, because the plane was, the visibility was fantastic that day.
Yeah.
I mean, ring doorbells see the plane like 10 miles away going straight down.
Yep.
Both wings were attached. So, unless you had a catastrophic failure of, your control surfaces, which I think there was evidence that was not the case. Yeah.
I saw the smoke and
Really?
it kind of tripped me out because I was like, what the heck? Why is there smoke right there? That's close to the church. And then my wife called me right away and she's like, oh my gosh, there's a fire over here by the school. And like it was blazing because 2 houses caught on fire.
Yeah.
And it blew up the
Didn't he kill
UPS truck and killed
Yeah,
the
he killed
UPS
the
guy.
UPS driver. Yep.
Yeah. He's come to our house. That's our route. Yeah, it's spooky. But yeah, just couple different situations kind of put our area on the radar for GA, and it's made me really interested, more like searching more into what it takes to get off the ground. By the way, this show is brought to you by iFly Indiana Powered Paragliding. If you're interested in flying paramotors, no better place to get the proper training than iFlyIndiana.com. Kevin and his team will get your feet off the ground. Also, Lone Star Paramotor is a sponsor of the show. If you're in the Lone Star state of Texas, you want to get some top-notch training, you can reach out to the guys there at LoneStarParamotor.com. Also, the show is brought to you by Torrey Pines Gliderport. If you want to learn how to free fly in the most beautiful place in the entire world, it's in sunny Southern California, La Jolla. Torrey Pines Gliderport. The website is flytorrey.com. That's FLYTORREY.com. And also, you should reach out to Max, by the way. He's recently ramped up the SIV trainings at Lake Berryessa. So you should reach out to him. Call Torrey Pines Gliderport, ask for Max, and they'll get you connected. Did you ever do an SIV?
Yep.
Where'd you do it?
I did it with Andy in Florida. Andy and Leah.
Oh, your doppelganger.
Your twin.
Yep. Yeah, it was awesome.
Yeah,
Yep.
like
I mean, it was awesome, and also
See,
it's the scariest thing I've ever done in my life.
That's what I was thinking. Your favorite paramotor pilot was Leah Catullo, LC.
Oh, we know who your favorite paramotor pilot is, Sean.
Hey, maybe
she's already taken.
That's
already
fine.
Taken.
She's still phenomenal.
What were you going to say, Tom? You were spooked?
Yeah, that was the time that I when I threw my reserve and went in the water on purpose. I threw it to go into the water just to throw my reserve. But it was windy that day, and the reserve opened back up after I hit, and lines went over my head and like pulled me underwater.
Oh,
and
no.
I couldn't grab. I was grabbing around. I had a hook knife that I didn't even think about because I panicked so much. I was wrapped in lines. I couldn't find my harness, and it just dragged me under. And I just held my breath and hoped to God that somebody was going to pull me out. And then Leah and Andy pulled me out of the water, but I would have for sure died if they didn't pull me out.
Oh my gosh! So the wind was pulling your.
Yeah, so like I hit, and I kind of went down and then got in the lines, and then the reserve opened up and just started pulling me backwards, hard, extremely hard. Like it felt like a boat dragging me through the water, and it just kind of pulled me and it turned me upside down, and so my head was underwater, and I was covered. I didn't know what was straps, what was lines. I was shaken up for days after that, and I was down there with my family on vacation. So I went back to them, and I was just shaky, and was looking at my kids, and I was like, man, I should probably not fly anymore. I was going through all that. It was scary.
Whoa.
Wow.
Yeah, I've heard that before. Somebody else was telling us that that happened to him.
Yeah.
That is super spooky.
Yeah.
I didn't throw and go into the water. I kept my I hope I never have to throw. There's a lot of guys that have never thrown.
I tell people do it if you get the chance, but don't do it if it's windy. If it's windy, just skip it. That was a bad decision on our part.
Dude, well, it was remember oh my gosh, Max Martini. And he was talking about how he was swooping the dogs and the dogs pulled his reserve. Yeah.
I don't remember that one.
Yeah, so he's swooping these feral dogs that were by his launch, and he was like slapping them and messing with them. And then one just jumped up and pulled his reserve, but it was super windy, so it pulled the reserve. He landed on the ground, and then it dragged him up the hill like far.
Oh my God.
He thought he was gonna die. He said some dude on a dirt bike saved his life. Craig Taylor, can you do the Resurgence PPG sponsorship?
Everybody knows how much I love Resurgence. And if you don't know that already, you need to go to resurgenceppg.com. They are a 501c3 nonprofit for veterans by veterans. The work that they're doing is phenomenal. They are teaching numerous amounts of people to join the skies safely. Smile.amazon.com will help donate to them as well if you don't want to or can't directly. Your everyday purchases, Amazon will give back. Resurgenceppg.com and check your NOTAMs, TFRs, save your launch and landing zones, and fly safe.
That's your public service announcement from Craig Taylor. Hey, Craig, by the way, what's your go-to website for checking NOTAMs, TFRs?
I use FAA safety.
Okay.
.gov. I can add that to the links.
I want to
because they actually will send you emails, but a lot of them don't even deal with your area, but they're kind of good to know. But you could just check your local airport or flying map under the FAA website, and you'll be able to see them clear as day. Even your general weather maps on the phone, if you go to the settings, you can turn on TFRs.
Yep.
And it'll show them to you.
Yeah. Free flight guys are like probably I don't want to throw too many people under the bus, but we push the limit sometimes because we feel like, well, if I fall out of this thermal right here and I have to land, I'm going to fall into airspace, or I'm on the edge of airspace, or, so when you launch, it's always like, we don't know where we're going to end up. But you should know what's, where you're breaking rules, and especially if you're flying in a TFR.
Yeah, if it's an emergency, you might be able to talk your way out of it. Make sure the TFR isn't for ordnance disposal, because
yeah. That's legit. Well, we are going to go to the after show. Really appreciate Tom. Thank you for coming on. I don't know if you could stick around for like 5 more minutes for the people that come on the after show. If you're interested in coming on the after show, put your information in the chat. I'll send you over an invite. If you're a Patreon supporter, PayPal supporter, or a super chatter, you can come and hang out with us. So if you want to join us, come on over. We'll have a great time in the after show. Also want to just say thank you so much for the moderation team, for what you guys do each week. You come, these guys don't ask for anything. They don't get paid anything. They literally just come for the love of the sport and to give something to the community. These guys are awesome. And so support your local moderator. And the guys that you see in the chat with the tool next to their name, it's because they've done something exceptional. They've been a part of the show for a very, very long time. And all of them know what they're talking about. If you have questions, you can always reach out to these guys and they'll point you in the right direction. So thanks again. Really appreciate you guys. We're going to go to the after show. Thanks for watching paraglidingtalk.com. And if I don't see you on the air,